Good morning. Good morning and a very warm welcome to you all on the third day of Student Development Program organized by Adarsh Vidya Prasarak Sanstha's Adarsh College of Arts and Commerce. Friends, let's start our day with a motivational video. It's the morning motivation which will give us positivity. Let's have a look at it. Good morning and a very warm welcome to you on the third day of Student Development Program organized by Adarsh Vidya Prasarak Sansthan, Adarsh College of Arts and Commerce. Friends, let's start our day with a
Sound.
प्लीज ये बंद कर हाँ तू बोलू नकोस फक्त थोडीशी बसू शकतेस एवढं काही नाहीये
Friends, the message is loud and clear. I hope you have all understood the message given by Apple, who were the first to take up such bold steps. Let's begin with a recap of day 2 from Mrs. Reina Hinja. Over to Reina Hinja.
Good morning to one and all. Our today's chief guest, Honorable Dr. C.P. Vidyasagar ji, sir, our principal madam, Dr. Vaidahi Daptardar, and all the participants. I welcome you all on the third day of our student development program organized by Adarsh College of Arts and Commerce.
No sound, please.
Good morning to one and all. Our today's chief guest, Honorable Dr. P.B. Vidyasagar ji sir, our principal madam, Dr. Vaidehi Daptardar, and all the participants. I welcome you all on the third day of our student development program organized by Adarsh College of Arts and Commerce in
Madam, no
association
sound.
with Sri
रहना मैडम
Yes,
हियर
ma'am.
मी
Yeah.
थोड़ा जोर से बोलिए
Okay. Should I start? Good morning to one and all. Am I audible now?
you are audible but you are
Am I
very
audible now?
you are audible madam but very low sound so can you come closer to the microphone
Good morning to one and all.
yes ma'am
आवाज एवढा मोठा येत होता म्हणून कमी केलं ना मला.
Now am I audible?
yes ma'am yes
मध्ये ते
you are audible
Good morning to one and all.
आहे म्हणून.
Our
हे
today's
तर चालू आहे.
guest,
हे तर आपलं आता.
Honorable Dr.
Video चालू आहे.
Vidyasagar ji sir, our principal madam,
Okay.
Dr. Vaidehi Daptardar, and
Okay.
all the participants. I welcome you all on the third day of our student development program organized by Adarsh College of Arts and Commerce
तिकडनंच केलं
in
असेल तर मग
association
फोन
with
करतो.
Forum of Free Enterprise, Mumbai. On the first day of our web series, Developing with Dr.
तिकडून
Vivek
म्यूट झाला असेल.
Officer, Chief Consultant Rusa had thrown light on employability and digital skills. Sir guided us about lifelong mantra, and that is upskills yourself regularly. Yesterday, we had our guest speaker as Mr. Raghav Narsale sir. He guided us about conversion into knowledge in skills. He mentioned 4 broad categories of skills, which are soft skills, business skills, value building skills, and human plus machine skills. These all skills are beautifully explained with the help of skill to succeed matrix. Now, may I request our principal madam, Dr. Vaidehi Daptardar, to introduce our today's chief guest, Dr. P.B. Vidyasagar ji.
I am very happy to introduce to you Dr. Pandit Bhalachandra Vidyasagar ji. He is a well-known academician and educational administrator at state and national level. His research contributions have been acknowledged at international level in the field of biophysics. Former professor and head of the physics department of Savitribai Phule University, he has extensively contributed to the upliftment of higher education through his writing, participation in policy making, and working on various committees at state and national level. He has guided 16 students for PhD and 19 students for MPhil. He has, to his credit, 18 books on education, research, and science popularization. His contributions at the interface science and society have been immensely recognized. He has worked on many important posts and also chaired committees set up by the UGC, state government, and various universities. He was a regular and senior associate at International Center for Theoretical Physics, Trieste, Japan, Italy for 12 years, and he was also invited as the professor at Chubu University, Japan. He has earned many accolades for his significant contributions in education, research, and science popularization. Some of them are J.R. Paranspe Award by Maharashtra Sahitya Parishad, National Education Leadership Award for Outstanding Contribution to Education 2014 by Lokomat and Star Group, Shikshan Maharshi Dr. Punjab Rao Deshmukh Memorial Award by Yashwantrao Chauhan Maharashtra Open University, Nashik, and Vidya Vyas Award by Vidya Cooperative Bank for his contributions towards educational and social upliftment. Friends, he has worked as the director of BCUD of Savitribai Phule Pune University, and he was also acting Vice Chancellor at Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Aurangabad. At his immediate past position, he was the Vice Chancellor of Swami Ramananda Tirtha Marathwada University at Nanded, Maharashtra, and presently he is the Professor Emeritus of Savitribai Phule University. We are singularly fortunate to have such a scholarly person, such an academician, and able administrator to guide us to shape our lives. I am very happy to invite and present before you Dr. Vidya Sagarji amongst us. Dr. Vidya Sagarji.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's really a pleasure to participate in this program, which is organized by Adarsh College. And this college has been led by a very dynamic person, Dr. Mrs. Daftardar. Actually, I will use my slides for my lecture. So, can you switch on the slides?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Friends, career development is a long process. It is not a one day job or 1 month job. It has to start right from the beginning. So those who of you who are at the 12th standard or at that level, they have ample time to plan their career. Who have graduated, they have less time, and those who have done post graduation, they have still less time. But it doesn't matter, because if the time is less, then you have to speed up the things. And as you will speed up the things, then you can make up and you can learn faster. Now, what I will do in this lecture is bring out some of the essentials which are required for the career development. Because subject is only one part of it, but along with that, you need lot many other things which will actually help you to make your career. So the first thing which I would suggest you is that you should sit down and retrospect. Now, what are the points at which you should actually ponder? So the first is that you must have taken your education in English medium school or Marathi medium school. It's okay. So that is one point you have to ponder on. If you are taken Marathi as a medium, doesn't matter, but you have to brush up the English in that case, because at many places you will have to face interviews or you will have to write the exams, and English is the language which is generally used. So you should ponder on that and prepare accordingly. Second thing, you may have rural background or urban background. See, there are advantages and disadvantages of both. It is not that all disadvantages are with the students who have actually taken education at the rural say area, and all advantages are with the urban. No, that is not true. Because if you are in the rural area, then your health is better. You had more time to spend, so you can read many books or you can do some hobbies. So the time is a very precious commodity, and in urban area, students don't have time. So that is the biggest disadvantage of the student. So on both counts, you have advantages as well as disadvantages, and you should think that what you have missed because you are in rural area or you are in an urban area, and that you should ponder very seriously and try to make up what you have missed over the time. Then your conditions also may be favorable, may be unfavorable, because economic conditions, social conditions, many conditions are there, and sometimes they are not favorable. Doesn't matter. You have come up to this point, so that is what has happened in the past. Then you must have some facilities. You didn't have some facilities, some good teachers, not very good teachers. But I am sure whether you are anywhere you are or anywhere you have taken the education, you must have come across some good teachers, and you remember what you have learned from them, because that is what is going to help you in future. So that is very important. So don't keep on saying that I didn't have good teacher, I didn't have good teacher. There would be some part of the teacher which is good. And that you will have to ponder, you will have to remember, you will have to actually visit those kind of things and see that how they can be useful for your career. Then what I will say at the end is that it does not matter where you learn, but what matters is what did you learn. So that is what is important. That is going to help you in career development. So remember or try to remember that what you have learned, what are your assets, what are your positive things with you, or what are the plus, what are minus. Of course, you have to think and then make up for that. But that is what you have to think and forget all other things. Where you have taken education, what was your condition, how bad things you have faced, or any kind of thing that is of no relevance to you right now. That has gone, past is past. Now you have to start fresh. Now you'll have to again ponder on the thing that how did you learn? Means only through lectures, means you have only listened the lectures and you have not participated in any activity, you have not tried any, say, anything which is helpful for personality development. That you have to think. And if you are done, that you try to use it for your advantages. Another thing is rote learning, means only say remembering the things and putting it in the examination, getting the mark. That is not enough. If you are done, it's fine. But now you'll have to change. You'll have to change. You'll have to pay more attention to understand the concept, because those concepts will only help you in future. If you are going for a job or if you are going for higher education, anywhere you go, conceptual understanding of the subject is the one which will help you and which will take you ahead. And that you have to now, you, that's what I say, you have to do your own, say, kind of a examination and find out what are the things you have missed, what are the things you have not done right, what are the things which you have done in a right way. And that is very important. And you are the best judge of yourself. Nobody else can do that. Other people will point out, but that will be only scanty kind of a thing, one or two things. You can introspect yourself, and then you are the best judge of yourself, and then you will know that yes, these are the things I have done, these are the things I have not done. Then have you done all those things joyfully or forcefully? If you are done forcefully, then that's not good. So change your attitude now. Start doing things joyfully or enjoy the thing. And you should, get involved, emotionally involved, because you know that emotional quotient is very important nowadays. And unless you are emotionally involved in certain things, your performance cannot be better. So remember this. So you have to get involved in the thing and enjoy doing those things, and that is very important. Then have you acquired the ability to use knowledge to solve problems? See, if you have learned physics and somebody asks you, can you put on the fuse? The fuse has gone. So have you tried that way? That you have learned about it because you have done physics, some 12th standard or graduation and all. But you have never thought about it. So now you try to examine yourself again and see that what is the knowledge which you have acquired and how you can make use of that knowledge to solve day-to-day problems, because that will help you to develop your own confidence. And that is very important, because nowadays wherever you go they'll ask you what is that you can do. Because biggest, uh, say, you can say that lacunae or fault with our students is that we can read, we can write, we can speak, but we can't do. If you are asked to do something, we fail. And that is what is required in 21st century. So start doing the things. Start using your knowledge to solve the problem. Even though they are not of your concern or they are not giving you any monetary benefit. No, but they will give you experience. And experience is what that counts. I'll give you a few examples that how to really understand a subject or look at it. I have asked this question to many engineering students. You are using mobile. Then there is an Android in that. We know that, okay, my mobile has Android. Then what is Android? Why it is called Android? Do you know this? You try to answer this question to yourself. If you know the answer, then yes, you are on the right path. But if you don't know the answer, then remember that you are not on the right path because you take the things as they are. You are not trying to investigate or find out that what they really mean. Or Wi-Fi. We use this so many times. Every day we use it. But what is it? Why it is Wi-Fi called? Or if you are a commerce student, then in accountancy you must have come across that credit CR and debit DR. Then why not DT? If it is a short form of credit and debit, then debit should be DT, but it is written DR. Why? Try to find out. Because if you try to find out these things, you learn many things and that develops your ability to answer the question. Okay? Or in our physics, I have experienced this, that students learn half-life, means this radioactive decay. There is a concept of half-life. Even MSc students are not able to answer this question if they are asked what is half-life, what goes to half. Many students say that their mass goes to half, weight goes to half, but they don't know what goes to half. So why? Because they have not thought about it. So start thinking, and that is a very good. That is the essential thing in career development, because that is what is going to help you in future. Next slide. So, how did you choose your subject branch? That is also very important. Many students they say कि because others have done it, I have also taken this subject. Some people say my friend has advised that you take physics, you take chemistry, you take biology, you take commerce, you take arts like that. Or a teacher will advise you that I have gone to a teacher and he said okay. Now I will tell you some of the fallacies in that. That when you are doing this, or if you are done it now, there is no other way. But it's okay. Then I will tell you how to come out of it. But many times when others tell and you take, that you are not, it is not your choice. And if it is not your choice, you don't enjoy it. You always feel that somebody else has made me do this thing. So another thing is teacher. Many times we feel that teacher is a good judge. Of course, most of the time teacher is a good judge. But teacher can also fail. And the example, famous example is of Dr. Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was not considered as a clever student. Not even he was considered as a dumb student in when he was doing his schooling. And at 10th standard, he failed. And when he asked the teacher what he can do in future, so teacher told him that you don't know anything, so whatever you do doesn't matter. So that was the judgment of a teacher of a person who is considered the most clever person in last century. So teachers also can fail. So what I am coming to that is that you have to judge yourself. You judge yourself. You take advices from others, no doubt about it. But final judgment should be yours. Or parents' desire. That is also a nowadays if you are doing engineering or medicine, many students come after BE and they say that sir I wanted to do physics, MSc physics, or I wanted to do physics, but because of my parents I did this B. What should I do? Of course, there are way out. You can still come to that subject and all, but you have wasted your time. A lot of time has been wasted. So that may happen with you also. So choosing a particular subject is very important. But if you are already graduate and you can't do anything with it, now you start loving that subject, start enjoying that subject, because that you can do even now. Doesn't matter. Even though you have selected it because somebody has told you, or teacher has told you, or parents have told you, it doesn't matter. But then you start loving that subject or enjoying that subject, and that is what you have to do for the career development. Otherwise you can't make a career, because it will be on your face when you go for the interview. Everybody can read that this is not her
Hello,
passion.
sir.
Hello.
Sorry to interrupt you, but
Huh,
is there anyone
huh.
else logged in from other device at your end? In the are you having two devices at a time logged in?
Actually I am using an iPad,
Okay.
and on that this facility is not there to change the slide. That is my problem.
Sir, I will change the slide.
Okay.
So you, if you say next, next, I will change the slide because of that
Okay.
echoey problem is coming.
Hmm. Acha, okay, okay.
Okay, sir.
Acha.
So you log in from only one device and you
Huh.
say next slide, I will change the slide.
Okay.
Is that
All
okay,
right.
sir?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Hmm. Okay, next. Now, what have you planned? If you are a graduate, what did you plan? What you want to do further? That whether you want to go for higher education, that is the means if you are a postgraduate, then you have to think about MPhil, PhD, and those kind of things. If you are a graduate, there are many options. Either you can go for the higher education, or you can take up a short course which will give you certain skills, and then you go for a job. So if you are convinced about it, then only do it. Because many students first they say that I want a job. Parents say that you should get a job, and accordingly they will choose a course which is of 1 year duration or very short duration, and afterwards they say no, this is not what I wanted. I wanted to go for higher education. So you have already wasted 1 year in that. So make up your mind very properly, or give a thought to that, and then decide what you want to do further. So after graduation, you can go for post graduation, or you can go for some means competitive examinations also. That is also an option with you. But there also many students don't think about it, whether they are really they have that flavor of competitive examination. Then in competitive examination also, many students are stuck up only with the IBS and IAS. There are many other competitive examinations which one can give. And that means banks are there, national institutions are there, military is there. There are many organizations to which you can apply and get into that. But you don't actually make a proper route for that. Because the pool is very small and the number of students appearing is very large. Or if you are trying, means if you have an idea of starting a business or entrepreneurship, that is also a good idea. But then you have to start quite early, and then you have to get yourself prepared in that. Nowadays we are talking about startups, innovations. So in many universities, these facilities are available. If you have a good idea, then university departments or even in some colleges, they will help you to actually toy with that idea and come up with the thing so that you can market it or you can convert it into a product. And though that kind of help is available, so you can think about those things also, not only about the service or the job, but even business is a good option nowadays, and that you have to think. Next. Now, this is a funny side of a little bit fun that this cartoon says, see why that boy is choosing that profession of his father. And that what he says is that no, it's because I don't want to wear pants to work. So this is a very lighter side of that. That it should not be that casual. I mean, choosing a career is not that casual. Next, next, madam. So now this is the condition of the most of the students. They are confused because there are so many inputs coming to them, so many people telling them. Means teacher is telling, friends are telling, parents are telling. Then there are many other agencies who keep on giving the advice or lectures like I am giving. So these are also a kind of advice. And because of that, there is a lot of confusion in the mind. What really you want to become? So here I am the engineer and marketer and accountant and salesman and that kind of thing. Means anything this means you see, you feel that you can do that. That is not proper, because that is a question, means that is a condition of confusion. So you should not be in confused state. Of course, you can have 3 4 choices, and then you can zero on one of them. That is okay. But you cannot have 100 choices and trying everything for, means whatever way means whatever way you can, you are going after that. So that is not a proper approach. So what is the proper approach? I will tell you next. Now you have to acquire certain skills or abilities nowadays, because they matter more than your subject knowledge. What I am saying, I'll give an example. Nowadays, many students who get employment in software companies, they do not have a proper degree in computer science. Students who have graduated with mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, civil engineering, or any kind of engineering can enter a soft skill company. Why? Then how these students are selected? They are selected based on their basic abilities. What are these basic abilities? Means I am saying that do whether they had a communication skill, whether they have problem solving ability, means some mathematical ability, statistical ability, those kind of things, or logic, means you must have the logic also to solve the problem. So that is what is being tested over there. So kind of examinations they have to appear. They will test these kind of abilities. So that is very important that you develop these abilities. Job will come, or you can go in a kind of business also. But if you do not have those abilities, you will fail. Organizing and planning, that is also very important aspect. Team working, this is very very important aspect for the Indian student, because we are not used to work in a team. Like Dr. Mashekar once said that when two Japanese come together, they make 1 plus 1 2 not 1 on 1 11. And in India it may happen that if two persons come together, it will be 1 minus 1 0. That should not happen. And in 21st century, you must have an ability to work in a team, because any job which is done by the company, it is done by the bank, or it is done by institution or university, it is not a single man job. You need a team for that. And unless you have people who can work in a team, then that job cannot be done. So this is the requirement of this time. And that is why you have to learn to work in a team. Now you can work as a member, you can work as a leader also, because there is ample opportunity for you to lead the team. And if you have leadership qualities, you can certainly do that. Or as a member also, you can meaningfully contribute. Nowadays, nobody says ki only leader, the credit goes to leader. No, credit goes to team. Like in cricket, the captain is there, but who wins the match? The total team, because everybody's contribution is important, and that is what the principle which is being used. So you would be tested whether you have an aptitude to work in a team. Next, data handling, because in future lot of data is being generated. You know that enormous data is there, and now there is a need of the people who can handle this data. They can, the data is to be sorted out, data is to be analyzed, then you have to bring out certain information and then use that information meaningfully. For example, if we are collecting a data on health, then you can predict that whether there is an endemic, or whether what kind of diseases are there, what kind of medicines are required, what kind of say health facilities are required. So many decisions will depend on that. And that is why data is very important. An enormous kind of data is being generated. So there is a need of the people who can process that data, handle that data, and come out with a meaningful outcome. So if you are planning a career, then plan in this area, because there is ample opportunity. There will be ample opportunities in this area if you are able to handle the data in some way or other. Means whether you have mathematical ability, computing ability, kind of thing. So think about it. Analysis is a very important thing. You must have that ability. Whatever job you are doing now, it is required. Earlier, it was not the case. Like if you are a clerk in a bank, you were not supposed to do anything. You were supposed to obey the orders. Whatever has been told to you, do it and finish. But nothing else. Nowadays, that is not the case. Nowadays, even clerk in a bank is expected to contribute to the growth of the bank. And that is why even a clerk should have these abilities of analyzing the situation, investigating attitude. This is helpful for learning. This is helpful for knowing the things, and it is helpful for doing the things. So investigative attitude is very important. As I said, that you must be curious about the thing. Whatever new word you listen, you should become curious about it and try to understand what it really means. because many times word means different and we actually understand in a different way. That should not happen. Research is another aspect which will be very important, and you must have that attitude. Anywhere you go, any field you go, you will have to actually see that you have research attitude. Time management is very important for your career development. How do you manage your time? Many times we complain that I don't have time. Is it the case? No, that is not the case. I'll give you an example of how we work. Suppose you take a bucket and you put big stones in that. Then you can say the bucket is full. But is it full? No. You can put small stones in that. Is it full? No. You can put sand in that. Is it full? No. You can put water in that. So there are a lot of space. There is a lot of space which remains utilized. The same thing is about time. That when I am doing a particular task, unless I am giving 100% to that task only, otherwise what we are doing, we are working in intervals. And there is a lot of time which is wasted. Can you use that time? Whatever is in the interval, between the intervals, if you can choose or if you can use that time, then you can make up for the time. Suppose you are traveling in Mumbai, you travel from Dombivli to Baikala. Now in local, what are you doing? You are wasting your time. Can you take some problem in your head and think about it? Even though you are standing or sitting or nothing, doesn't matter. Because I have that experience. I have traveled 3 years from Dombivli to Baikala, and I managed to study all my things for PhD during that time. Whether I am sitting or standing doesn't matter. So you make that habit to use time intervals which are going or which are being wasted. And if you do that, then you have a lot of time. Then there is no dearth of time. You can do many things at a time. And that is what we have to learn. Then decision making. You should be very sure of the things many times. It may be wrong, but you must have ability to decide whether I want to do this or I don't want to do this. If you are in between, if you are confused or if you are undecided, that is not proper. And you must develop this ability to make a correct decision, correct or wrong way. Make a decision. That is okay. Then leadership. So you should develop. Leader has to work more. Leader has to work ahead of other people. Then leader has to take risk. Then leader has to care for his members. Then leader has to help them. So leader has to manage himself first and then he can manage others. So learn to manage yourself. If you are not managing your own things, you cannot be a leader. You can't be a leader. And that is the most important thing which you have to learn or develop that ability. Attention to quality. This is the crux of this time, 21st century. Everybody is talking about quality. Quality in education, quality in production, quality in service. Everywhere we talk about quality. Because unless we have quality, we can't stand in this world. Because now this is a world of globalization, internationalization. So standards are very high. They are global standards. They are not local standards. You may be best at local, or like in Ambernath, you may be best. But that doesn't help you. You have to be best at the global level, international level. And that you have to really think and develop yourself in that direction. Creativity is another aspect which will be very important in coming days or coming years and all. If we have that ability, don't kill it. Many times we kill it. Everyone has that ability, but we never explore that because we are afraid. That is one thing. Second thing, we are afraid of whom? We are afraid of others. That what would they say? That kind of thing. That if you are supposed to do this thing, you are doing this thing. So what? Don't be afraid of that, because if you work on it, rich dividends you will get in future. A personal example I will give. I had a degree in physics. I did PhD. I was lecturer. There was no need for me to write in Marathi or articles in newspaper. When I started writing, many people criticized. They said, this is not your job. You are wasting your time. But let me tell you, the best rewards which I have got are due to that. So this is what it is. So I didn't listen to others. I went on my own way, and that gave me rich dividends afterwards. Next. Now, what are the opportunities available? There are so many opportunities. I list 20, 25 for you, different areas. But I'll tell you two principles. They are very important. One is that many times we think only about very few things. Suppose you take aviation industry, we think only about pilot. We feel that that is the only job which is available in that industry. That is not true. There are many other jobs which are there. And that is what I am trying to show you, that in a particular field, what are the other jobs. And if you really concentrate on those, then you can make a career. But we don't do that. So like airline pilot is one. Okay, if you can become fine, nothing else. But then there are a lot of cabin crew required, flight attendants are required, air hostesses are required, ground operation staff is required, reservation ticketing agents are required, terminal operation manager is required. So these are also jobs, and they are equally productive. It is not that only pilot gets the best of the thing. Others also can get it. And that is what you have to think. That when you are thinking about a particular field or the area, like in education, that only not the teacher is not only the job which is over there. There are many other jobs over there. And in future, there will be many other created. Next. Next, madam. Opportunities like data scientist, product manager, quality analyst, software programmer, web designer. So these are the things which are available for you. You can think of making career in this. Next, career counselor. This has a lot of demand nowadays. That everybody wants to make a career, and this career counselor. It is not an easy job. Usually, content writer for any media person. This is very important. Language specialists are required. In computer also, language specialist is required. I'll give you another example of that. Computer linguistic. Nowadays, new job has been in this area. You can, of course, means those who are handicapped or challenged, those kind of students or children. It is very difficult to actually teach them. So you need special educators for that purpose. So if you are liking for that kind of thing, you can always go for it. Becoming a school teacher is not an easy job. Many people think that, teaching children is the most important, most difficult at that level. But then you must understand that. It is not means in foreign countries or in Netherlands, if you see the model, the school teachers are highest paid people over there. And it's very difficult to become a school teacher. It is easy to become a college teacher, but it is very difficult to become a school teacher. And that is also a career which will be very important, because our new education policy is coming. And in that, it is envisaged that the teaching profession has to change. Teaching learning method has to change completely. And there you will need teachers who are really dedicated, expert, and they love their job, they enjoy their job, and they understand the psychology of the children. Next. See, these are the small things I'm telling you. Beautician, image consultant, makeup artist, spa therapist, hairstylist. See, these are the things which you can means. Of course, everybody doesn't have to think about it, but those who have the flavor, they can go for it. Next, clinical psychologist, which you might have not heard, dietitian. This has become very important because everybody has become conscious about the health. Nurse, pharmacist. Now, in the period of COVID, you know that these are the people who have become very important for us and for the world as a whole. Then physiotherapist is very important because after the operation, these are the people who are required to bring that function back of the muscles and other parts of the body. Veterinarian also is very important because for the animals. Next, banking. See, in bank only clerk and manager is not the only thing. There are many other things. Banking relationship manager, chartered accountant, company secretariat, financial planner, insurance claim manager, investment analysis, stock broker. So these are also areas which you can think about. Next. Anchor, see in TV and radio. Animator, animation is the best now. This is a big business nowadays. Graphic designer, journalist, photojournalist, video editor. See now, whole education we are thinking about online education. Now, online education is not easy. I mean, we think that it is only going before the camera and giving a lecture. No, it should be a actually multidimensional kind of a thing. I mean, it should have video, it should have audio, it should have demonstration, all kinds of things should be included, and that is very difficult to make, to prepare a lecture in that fashion. So you need video editors for that. Next. Now, like floor manager, HR manager, market researcher, sales manager, social media marketer, so many aspects are coming up where people are required. And we say that there are no jobs. That is not true. Okay, next. Biological scientist. Becoming a scientist is a good career, but it takes long because you have to be postgraduate, then you have to do doctorate, then you have to do postdoctorate, and those kind of things, and you have to keep on taking the challenges. But this is quite satisfying and challenging field if you really want to do that. Or astronaut, becoming astronaut is also very challenging. Food technologies, geologists, nutritionists, and digital world. Digital world will give you a lot of jobs. The other day I was listening to one webinar where they said that nowadays that crime has increased, cyber crime, and there will be 5 lakh jobs coming in this field. These 5 lakh people will be required to deal with these kind of things which are happening in the cyber world. Next. Now, in engineering field, nowadays biotechnology, engineering, and information technology. So these are the fields which everybody knows about it, because information processing is very important. Business and professional service, banking services are important. So you can think about it. I'll tell you, nowadays it is not necessary for you to be a MCOM to join a bank. You can be a BA mechanical, then you do IIM or management diploma, and then you can join bank as a class 3 officer directly. So that is possible. So these possibilities you have to think nowadays. So the paths which you take are not straight. You can take a zigzag path and reach to your destination. So public services, social services, education, state and local government. So these jobs are also available for you. Next. Now I will come to this, which are 21st century new jobs kind of thing. Information broker. What does it mean? That as I said, that lot of information is being collected. Like suppose you are wearing a watch that is Fitbit. It is collecting data for you every day. Means what is your heart rate, how many steps you have walked, how many calories you have consumed. All kinds of things are being collected, information. This information is actually stored. Somebody is collecting that information. Now that information can be used or it can be sold to various agencies, like government agencies. Suppose government wants to plan that what kind of, say, health facilities would be required in Maharashtra. So this data will tell them that what kind of patients are there or what kinds of people are there, what kind of suffering they are going through, and what kind of help will be required. So that data can be sold. So these brokers will collect this data and they will sell it to different companies. They may analyze also, and after analyzing they will sell it to different. Suppose a shop or these malls, big malls and big companies, they want to know that what kind of products would be sold in Pune area. So this is collected, this data is collected, that what kind of shopping is done, what are the kind of things people purchase, and every time you do a purchase, that data is collected. And that data is made available, or if it is available, these information brokers will analyze it and sell it. So that is job developer, that what kind of job actually can be developed in a particular situation. So if the situation like COVID is a situation, now what kind of jobs can be developed in this or are required? And that is what he will do, and then he will provide this information or sell this information to the proper agency. Leisure consultant means people are want entertainment, foods, all kinds of things, or eating in a hotel, that kind of thing. So they are the people who will collect all the data, information, and all, and use it for this. They become consultants. That what kind of hotels are required in this area, or whether theater will be means you can really be profitable theater in this area. So that kind of thing, and that you can do. So it is both. It is a service. You can do it as a job with some company, or you can start your own company. Both ways it can be used. Then bionic electron technician. What are the bionic things? They are the interface between living living things and the operational machine. Like suppose hand is amputated and I have a artificial hand. Now that hand is linked to my muscles, which are remaining over there. And then the devices will collect the signals from my muscles and they will provide it to the artificial hand. And so that I can move the fingers of the artificial hand by actually operating my muscles. So these are the bionic devices, and there you will need a lot of technicians because a lot of people will be using this kind of thing. Computational linguist means doing research on the language itself, and through by using computers and those kind of things. So that is also going because it is both way. Means this research will help to develop a language or make an assessment of the language, or whether that kind of things can be used in the computer itself. So it is both ways, means you get the information. Fiber optic technicians. Nowadays, you know that Wi-Fi and everything is going through fiber optic, and that's why technicians are. Fusion engineer. What is it? Bringing in different technologies. Suppose you have different sensors with you. How do you combine these sensors and produce a particular task? So there you will need a person who has the knowledge of different using different technology, maybe sensor, maybe amplifier, maybe analyzer, that kind of thing, and bring them together, fuse them to like we do in fusion music. In music, we do fusion, Western and Indian classical and that kind of, and then produce a different tune. So same thing, this will happen in engineering. And that's why we need an engineer who has the knowledge of different, say, electrical, computer, mechanical, all kinds of, like car. If you are thinking a future car, there will be less mechanical part and more electronics part. So that is what the future car is. You need an engineer who has the knowledge of both. He knows how to use the computer and or make use of different sensors and also the mechanical aspect of it. And so this is a fusion engineer. Image consultant. This will be required by many people. You may also require in future. That what should be my image? Means suppose you are going for a job, will I be considered suitable for that? Then what parameters decided? Suppose I am going for a military job and I am not fit for it. So what are the requirements? I should know in advance. Otherwise, it is a waste of time. I may not go there because I am not fit for that job. Next. Myotherapist is also another thing. Myo means muscle therapy. Relocation counselor. People are moving all over the world, and they know that suppose somebody is moving from Canada to USA, and in USA he is going in Boston area. So he wants to know that what kind of situation is there, what kind of house I can rent, what kind of facilities are there, what kind of schools are there. I want to put my children in the school or college or bank or that kind of thing. And these are the counselor which will provide that information on later. And of course they'll charge for it. So this is required because people don't want to go unknowingly to anything and face the difficulties over there because there's no time. Because if they leave the job over here, within 1 week they have to actually join the job at other place, and they have no time. So these counselors will help them to actually accommodate in your location. Robots are coming, and you need robot technicians. We'll be needing them quite often, like we need for the fridge or TV or any other gadgets, mixer in our house. Similarly, people will be using robots and technicians will be space mechanics. So a lot of space shuttles are being sent to the space, and sometimes they actually some defects are produced over there. So you need mechanics to fix those defects. So this is not an easy job. This is not going to somebody's house and fixing like a plumber. No, you need a lot of things because to go in the space itself is you should be qualified for that. And then after going in space, you are doing some repair job. So think about it. But if you go once in a space, then you don't have to work whole of your life. That's a one-time job because that is a risk also. Going to space is not easy job. So these kind of things are coming up. Then underwater archaeology means people are interested in knowing about the past history also. It is not only searching for the lost ships, but there are many other aspects which people are interested in. Like Dwarka in India, it is lost in the sea. That is what it said. It got drowned. So is it really true? Then these people will go and actually investigate by going there. And this is coming up all over the world. So these are the paths which are untrodden paths. They have not been there or they are not the routine kind of thing. And that is the last point which I want to press on, that while making a career, you can choose a path which is not common. Next. So before that, this is a summary that what are the essentials. So first is inventory your talents. As I have said, skills and abilities. I said retrospect yourself. Maximize performance appraisal feedback. This is when you are actually employed and you want to go ahead or you want to rise in the career. So for that is required. Then use assessments to determine interests, strengths, and weaknesses for your own kind of thing. Then determine personal development needs and acquire training. That's what I said. Ki whatever you have missed or whatever shortcomings are there, you can take proper training for that so that you can make up those things. And utilize mentoring. So somebody should mentor you, and that you can take the advantage of. Next. So what is the procedure? That you take yourself intelligent test, you can take quotient. What is the intelligent quotient? You can find out. Emotional quotient you can find out. Career traits attributes for a particular career. Once you focus on certain career, then you'll have to see that what are the requirements of that particular job or particular business. And that you'll have to, you get it tested whether you have that aptitude. Suppose you are starting a job in biotechnological thing, then you test yourself whether you are really fit for that or not. Or if you are not fit, then what is that you should do that you become fit for that particular job. Then example, marine engineer means if you want to be a marine engineer and you don't know how to swim, then it's of no use, because you have to first know that what are the requirements to be a marine engineer. After application, start to learn swimming. Means that is not the way. Means you apply first and then you start learn swimming. That is not the case. Next. List the occupations. Means you make a list of 4-5 kind of things. Explore, match your abilities, and like somewhere you will match 80%, some 70%, 60%, 50%. Up to that you can go, and then you try to raise yourself to 80%. 100% matching is very difficult, but then you shortlist, as I said, make your career choice, prepare for the interview, identify career goals, prepare an action plan with options. So you must have two things, that uh, interview is an art. How? Because in interview, you have to know how you respond to the question. That is one thing. Second thing is that you create a situation where you can invite the question. That is an art. Means you say something which will leave out something. So the interviewer will ask question on that part only, which you already know, but you are not purposely said it, and that is an art. Second thing is that anywhere you go for the interview, you show them that I can be employed at 100 other places. Doesn't matter. I am interested in this job, but I am not desperate. I am not desperate for it. And don't try to borrow sympathy for them from them. Many of my students have failed because of this. That they are good students, but in the interview they try to actually create sympathy about them by telling that I am very poor or why I'm difficulty. That is not. They are not interested in that. They are interested in what you know and how can be useful to their company or to their organization. And you have to concentrate on that. Forget about what is the outcome, whether you are selected or not. That that you have to leave. That time you have to be very sincere and concentrate on the thing which they want. And that is how you have to get yourself trained to how to face the interviews also. And you should have option, 2-3 options. If you fail in one, because many times you are very means you are suitable for a particular job, but you are not selected. Doesn't matter. You must have options for that. If you don't have options, then you are frustrated. Then depression will come, because you will feel that that is the end of the world. But that you should never think in that fashion. Nothing is at the end of the world. No, you can always have an opportunity, and different types of opportunities will keep on coming, and you have to look at it. So prepare yourself in that fashion, and then only you will be successful. Next, untrodden paths. That is what I have said. Key those paths which are unknown. People have not actually tested those things, or nobody has opted for that, or it is not very common. Look for these opportunities also. Of course, there is a risk, because you have to take a risk for that. Then nobody is there to help you also. Sometimes you may not get the success also. Help is not available, and people will discourage you. They will discourage you. So it happens. But if you are sure, then at the end you get a lot of benefits out of it. I'll give an example for that. Next. So this is also on the lighter side, that career option, how people will react to that. This really is an innovative approach, but I am afraid that we can't consider it. It has never been done before. So if it has not done, then it can't be a new. So, but people will say like that. They are not ready to accept the new approach. But you have to keep on trying, and if you succeed, then that is the best thing to happen. Next, I'll give some example. Shivaji Maharaj. Why was he successful? Because he invented his own way of fighting, Gani Mein Kawa. So that is how he was successful. People would have ridiculed him that this is not the way to fight, but he devised his own way, and he became, say, successful in that. Next, Srinagar Fort, Tanaji. Now you must have seen that picture. That he chose the path which was unimaginable. Nobody could imagine that people can climb from that cliff, which he has done. And that's how you are successful. Next, Swami Vivekananda. He tried my brothers and sisters. Only 2 words were changed. Ladies and gentlemen, instead of that, brothers and sisters. And he won the whole audience. So this is the untrodden path. That was not there. It was customary to say ladies and gentlemen. But he just chose his own way of addressing the people, and he won the whole thing. Next. Einstein, as I told you, that he chose his own way, because he was discarded by the school. It was very difficult for him to get even a diploma. Then after he finished his college, he was not given job. So where did he work? He worked in a patent office as a clerk. And he came out with the research papers which are landmarks, which have become landmarks. In 1905, he published 5 research papers, and which are the landmark papers. So see this, he's chosen his own way. He didn't bother about what others are saying. Or the concept which he has proposed, that is say relativity. That was also a very new concept which nobody else has thought about. Next. I'll give some my personal examples. Maybe it may help you also. Like I was writing books, scientific books, and then I thought that can I express this science in the form of OV? That's a poetic form. Now this was a new concept, and many people said, this is not possible, or this will not be appreciated. I did it, and I got so much success in that a book in Marathi now is translated in Hindi and English and published by the Macmillan. So probably this is the first book in Marathi which has been translated in Hindi and English afterwards. So first it has come in the Marathi. So this is the first effort in the world, not in India or Maharashtra. So when it came out, one of the author told me that he said, I had also this idea. I said, then why didn't you do that? He said, no, somebody told me that this is not the way to write science. I said, why did you listen to them? You should have gone ahead with your own thing. So this is what happens, but you have to take risk for that. I chose career in biophysics. When I chose the career, people they were telling me, why are you doing this? You can better take other subjects or other course, and then you can go very fast. I said, no, I want to do biophysics. Then they said that you will not get a job. First they said you will not get a degree, PhD degree. I got it. They said you will not get a job. I got the job. Then they said you will not get a promotion. I got the promotion. Then they said you will not become professor. I became professor. Then they said you will not become head of the department. I became head of the department. And after that also I became institute director and vice chancellor. And those who have taken other subjects, they have remained behind. Why? Because I did take the risk. Because a training in physics, I was trained in physics, MSc physics. And then shifting to biology or biophysics was a very difficult task. Because you have to do human dissection. I was told, can you do human dissection? I was very afraid because I never done a dissection. But then I said, no. Once I have chosen this, I have to do that. And I did human dissection. It was very difficult, but now I got the expertise so that people started consulting me. Now also people consult me in medical field. Why? Because I have done that thing and nobody else has done it. So this is what it is. So you can choose this kind of path also if you. Or Chandrayaan is the best example, that Indian mission to moon. See, many missions have gone to moon and they were not able to find water. Indians have found it. And even to take our satellite or our the spaceship to Mars, we have chosen a different way, because going to moon, say USA can put their spaceship on moon in 16 hours. And we took 2 months. Why? Because we adopted a different path. Why was that? Because we had less energy available or less fuel available, and it became cheaper kind of as compared to the US mission. So this is the ingenuity, this is what Indians are doing. So you can also think of this. There are routine jobs, I have told. There are many things, many jobs are available, many opportunities are available. But if you really find that something is different which you can do, or some opportunity there, you can think about that also very seriously. Next. Next slide. So over.
Sir, experience economy, digital world.
Yes. So these are the new areas which you can think of. That experience economy is what This is very funny. Like you drink coffee on a tapri, okay, small shop. How much you pay for that? Maybe 20 rupees, 25 rupees. Same coffee when you go to CCD, how much you pay? And that is called experience economy. Means people are more interested in experience than actual commodity. And this kind of business is coming up. So you can think about that. Our digital world, so there is no limit to that. People have a long lifespan now. There are many requirements of the old people. So you can think of developing either gadgets or services which can help them, these people over there. Technical writing is also a very important area which you can think of. Translator are also they earn quite a lot. you may not. I have many friends who work only 1 week in a month, and they earn the full salary. And what do? They translate the matter for the company. Like if it is a German company, then translate it in English or in local language or vice versa. And they are highly paid for that. But then you have to be very accurate and you have to understand the language because same word may mean different at different places. And so how to use that is your art or that is your responsibility. But you are paid very highly. Now urbanization is going on, so a lot of problems are coming up. So you can provide services nowadays in even in our cities. We get a lot of services which earlier were not there, including we get our all our grocery and all at home, or food is served at home, and those kind of things. Sustainability means now we are talking about sustainable development, and whatever is actually helping that, so that will have more importance in future. So you can think of those areas also. Even project management is also aspect of that. Suppose you want to put a factory in a particular area. Now we have to make an assessment that what that factory will, what kind of impact it will have on the environment around. And those kind of studies are done by special companies, and then they provide that input to that company and also to the government. So project management is a big area in business which you can think of. Microbiology. Why? Now, COVID is or the corona is only one example, only one virus. In future, there could be many more viruses coming like that, either artificial or natural. Now, microbiology will have to envisage or imagine what kind of bacteria or what kind of viruses can be produced and what is the antidote for them in advance. Now, as far as corona is concerned, we are caught unaware. The whole world is caught unaware. And that is why you see that there is a lot of impact on economy also. We can't afford this in future. So we should be prepared a priori. Before that virus or bacteria attack, we are prepared for that. That we know in advance that what kind of, say, antibodies are required, what kind of medicine is required, and that kind of. And this means microbiology will have a lot of say in that. And that is why this will become a very important field in future. Next. So, Karyatatparta, this is what means you must be efficient. Efficiency is a very important aspect, not working once in a week. Okay, next. And the last one is what I am doing. It is always easy to give advice. So, I am in that position. You have to fight. I am only advising you. So, even making careers, we can give a lot of advice, but ultimately, you will have to prepare yourself. You will have to fight the situation. And I am sure that you will come out with big success. So all the best to all the students and participants who are listening to this, and you gave me opportunity to interact with you. I hope you liked it. Thank you, madam, and thank you, participants.
Thank you very much, sir. It was such a wonderful presentation from you. You said, "This is what I am doing, giving advice." No, sir. It was not a piece of advice. It is what you have actually lived all throughout your life, and that is why you have every right to say all these things. I was wondering how you could enter into biophysics, human dissection, and I felt after listening, the people do not enter into the fields which are not being actually tried by others, but you did, and I felt as if you are the icon in itself. You are that Gau Ovi Vijnanachi being translated, I came to know just now, and many would be interested in reading. So, since the people have joined from all across the country, they should find out the versions which are of their use. Sir, you have really guided all the students as per their aptitude, their inclination, their choice, their faculty, their stream. Right from beauty parlor, microbiology, marine engineering, science, biophysics, biotechnology to space technology, everything. What are the essentials that you need? And you need to prove yourself. That was the great message. I think the new horizons must be tried, and there may be people who may not be really supporting you, may in fact at times discourage you, but you should go ahead if you are well determined. I think that was the most important message given by you. And my young students who are into the science, commerce, and education, and also from the PhD and MPhil section, they will definitely take it, rather embrace it to say that, yes, this is off-bit career, but I have decided and I will go ahead and I would be successful. Also, this was such a positive noting on your part. I'm sure all the students have been definitely encouraged and inspired by you. Before we move to question answer session, which will be conducted by Reina Madam, let me set the ball rolling, sir. Since you are also from academic, I am also from academic, and what the situation we have been experiencing for almost 3.5 decades, I think now the situation doesn't seem to be that encouraging for the people who are really want to be into education. We have already into the education as a service, and therefore under GATS we are having the competition from international companies and edupreneurs and whatnot. On the other hand, the new education policy has come. I heard, I read the chapter 9 wherein technology is being introduced. We say that for research, a lot of grants are there and all that. But sir, on the one hand, government is trying to make the institutions autonomous. Do you think that it is the backdoor entry of privatization? And second important question is, there have been people who have been in added section, but like our earlier social strata of fourfold classification, what we used to call it Chaturvarna, we are having full-time lecturers, part-timers, visitors, contract lecturers. What is the future of this education scenario? What happens to the people who are really competent, who are really doing something and trying to put their metal? There doesn't seem to be absolutely any incentive to all such people. What way they are supposed to? I would be really happy to get some solutions and some guidance from you for all such really worth deserving teachers who should be there in the teaching field actually. Thank you very much.
No, madam, this is very important point. Privatization has already entered. It is already there in the form of deemed universities. And now, as far as government policy is concerned, it is actually both ways. Means one way it is said ki we want to actually uh, go ahead with this policy, but the decisions or the actions taken are just contrary to that. And I think that government should realize that only privatization will not help the country like India, because in India you need to reach to the people who are at the at disadvantageous position economically and socially. That is one thing. And second thing, teacher is a very important component of the society, and no technology can replace teacher. No technology. Even we are talking about online education and all, that can be 20-25% at the most. Without a teacher, you cannot, bring out a student or in a holistic manner. Means it is not only giving the information, it is the development of the personality and many other aspects which students learn. They learn from teacher only, not from the computer. Like say compassion or some human aspects. Then other is that value education and many other things they learn, and that's why teacher cannot be replaced. Now present situation is very pathetic because government is day by day actually taking away the support from the education. And even in yesterday's panel discussion, means Dr. Mr. Sawan, DP Sawan, who was the earlier education minister, he was very emphatic that government should increase the support for the education. And this will have to take up, all of us will have to take up this point with the government. And we should not allow government to go away from the education. Otherwise, it will be a disaster. That will be a disaster, I think. And right now, the teachers are being paid very meagerly, and there are categories: temporary, contractual, and CHB, and all. This is all pathetic. This is not conducive for the higher education or any kind of education. So this will have to, I think, we'll have to fight, or we'll have to create a movement for that. Then only something will happen. Otherwise, a very serious question, madam.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for that advice and guidance. Now, over to Reina for handling the question answer session. This is Reina Hinja.
Thank you, ma'am. One of our participants wants to ask, am I audible, sir?
Yes. Yeah.
Is it advisable to work for a couple of years after completing post-graduation and then pursue PhD?
This is a risk, because many times it happens that once you enter into a job, you get so engrossed in that it is very difficult to come out. So leaving the job is not very easy. So unless you have full determination, of course, if you have determination, you can come out. There are many people who have come out of it, but I know many examples where they never came out of the job. So once they went for the job, they remain with it, because there are many attractions which get developed. Then responsibilities also get developed. Then you are used to earn money, and once it happens, then you feel 10 times that leaving that job and coming again to the education. So best way I find that is to go for the higher education if you are interested in, without going for the job. Even this has happened with the engineering people, that once they enter the job, they didn't go for the higher education. Most of the engineering students don't go for the higher education.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Now, my second question is, how we manage our time while studying regularly and we have to give some competitive exams?
Yeah, you see, you can do parallel processing kind of thing if you have that ability, but you'll have to use the time very judiciously for that. So you can do both the things, but it is difficult, because competitive examination demand a lot of attention, lot of studies, and there are a lot of various kinds of subjects which you'll have to study. So doing both the things is not that easy. But if you have that ability, you can do it. But it's very rare.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Now, the third question is, current situation of world where people lost their jobs frequently, how new or upcoming students search the opportunities?
No. Now, see, the world nowadays is that there is nothing permanent as such. So, what is the mantra for the 21st century is that you learn, you use, you forget, and then you learn again. So, the same thing is true for the jobs. So, no job will be permanent. So, you'll have to always be on your toe to find out something else. And that is why you have to keep on learning. Unless you keep on learning, you will be obsolete one day. So whatever knowledge you acquire won't last you to the whole of your life. That is the mantra of present day. But it is not that they are losing very often, but sometimes it does happen. And in situations like this corona and all, these are very rare situations, not usual situation as such.
Okay, sir. One more question. How to develop ourselves for interview? Like, what are the key points that we should focus on for interview?
Interview, first thing is that your language. You should be able to speak at least one language properly. Express yourself, what you want to convey. You should be able to convey it properly. It starts or it begins from there. Because if you fumble with the words or if you use wrong words, then wrong meaning is conveyed. and that you should be very careful. So even otherwise, when you are talking, you should be very particular in that. So that is the first aspect of. And then the other thing is that means how do you dress, how you present yourself, how confident you are, how do you means suppose you are going to a company and you don't know anything about that company. That's what happens. That many students come for the interview for a job, but if they are asked that what is the requirement of that job or what is expected of you that of that job, they don't know because they have not done any homework. So do the homework before you are going for the interview, because these are the obvious questions which will be asked, and for that only you are not prepared, then there is very less chance that you will be selected.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I hope all the participants are definitely satisfied and got the answers of their questions. And this will definitely help all the participants from all the faculties. So thank you so much, sir. On behalf of Adarsh College of Arts and Commerce, I am grateful to Dr. P.B. Vidyasagar ji, sir. I extend my gratitude to all the participants from all over the nation. I express my sincere thanks to all teaching and non-teaching staff. I express special thanks to Saili Dattadar ma'am and Kiran Bhalerao for their technical assistance. Last but not the least, I would like to acknowledge in gratitude and sincere thanks to Principal Dr. Vedahi Dattadar Madam and Mrs. Swati Kapadia, CEO of Forum of Free Enterprise, for organizing such a wonderful student development program. I request all the participants to fill the feedback form. Link will be posted in some time in our Telegram group. Tomorrow we have with us Mr. L. Ravi and Mr. Arindam Bhakta, and their topic is preparation beyond the classroom. So tomorrow we will meet sharp at 11 o'clock. Till that, stay safe, stay skilled, and stay competent. Goodbye. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.